Do they still say hang 10? Remember that for surfing?
I think they do. That's like
that?
toes over the board, right?
I don't know.
I
just
think
know
so,
I've heard it for, toes over the board. Robert said that in the background there. All right, so you talk about surfing here. I drove in. There are many surfers out here catching a wave early in the morning. Frank's been talking to one surfer in particular with a history here in Capitola. So let's toss it over to Frank, and he can tell us a little bit more about that. Hey, Frank.
Good morning, guys. Yes, a lot of surfers got their start right here in Santa Cruz County, including our guest here. It's 52-year-old Adam Replogle. How are you?
Hey, I thought we had a deal. You're going to say I was 49 there, Frank.
47-year-old Adam Replogle.
There we go.
All right, well, surfing is in your blood. You were a pro for over 10-plus years. You've surfed all over the world, but Capitola's home. What is it about surfing that is just in your DNA?
I don't know if it was in my DNA. I think I might have drank a little of this local water here, and that got into me. You know, this is a fountain of youth to me out here, so I loved going down here when I was a kid, surfing a lot.
Yeah.
We all got our start down there. I mean, Peter Mell, big wave rider, was down here as a kid. So there was a lot of us, that learned down here, and during the early 80s, it was a perfect time to be a surfer.
Okay, and you're retired now. You work at the Billabong Surf Shop here in town, but you're in the water every day, right?
Well, I try to, as you can see, I'm looking really young there, Frank. You said, no,
you're 45 now.
Yeah, 45 now. I'm just trying to stay out there, stay active. I love hanging out with the kids down there, and it really does keep you youthful and young.
And for people that don't surf, what's it like to just set up on a great wave, for a good minute or two?
Gosh, if it's a minute or two, that's an awesome wave. It's an incredibly long one. But to me, it's like a magic carpet ride. It's really sort of like floating in space, or floating on a cloud. You really get a nice speed and feel, a glide, and it's very addictive.
Yeah.
Very addictive.
How has surfing kind of changed this little community of Capitola?
I think it's changed it for the better, really. It bringing a lot of heads in beds, bringing a lot of people into the community. You see over time, I wish we could quantify it, but how many people come here to Capitola to surf and what it really does to our community here. Because if they saw the value, I think they would really back it a little more.
And we talked about it. Surfing's changed a little bit. Used to be a lot of guys, but the gals are really taking over.
Believe me, I think that's been the biggest upside to surfing lately. It's been all the women in the sport. They've really taken it to the next level. They're surfing just as high as the men now on some of the disciplines. You see some of their small wave technique is perfect, and boy, we have a lot of great young women here too in Santa Cruz.
And how far has Capitola come since those big storms back in January?
Well, it's come a long way. I go down through Capitola quite a bit. I'd say probably 95% of the merchants are open down there. There's great places down there right now. Lots of restaurants are open. We have a lot of really good Mexican food down there, a lot of good breakfast spots. So if you want to go check out El Toro Bravo or Zelda's, they're great. The Sweet Asylum, too. There's a great place down there to get clothes. My buddy Matt Arthur has a place down there, the Capitola Surf Company. So a lot of great places down there.
And finally, you've surfed Mavericks. What's it like being on a 60-foot wave?
Well, I wouldn't go as far as to say I rode a 60-footer, but I rode some pretty big waves. The biggest waves I ever rode weren't really under my own arm power. They were I was towed in by them.
Right.
But no, it's exhilarating. You get a huge rush out of it. You really put your life on the line. You put your throat and your heart, and you just send it.
Just let it go, right?
Yeah.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Adam, thanks very much.
Welcome, Frank.
I know you got some surfing to do today, right?
Yeah, you can tell, huh? I got to get out of here.
All right. Well, there he is. That's Adam Replogle. Thank you very much. Great surfing community. And if you have never surfed before, I'll just kind of step out. But that's kind of a beginner's area right there. A little break and a lot of surfers. So if you're just starting out, Capitola is a good spot as well.
Wow.
That's the latest. We'll send it back to you guys.